Picture this. You're finishing important work presentation, deadline in 1 hour. Click save. Suddenly, screen says Windows needs updating, restarting in 10 minutes. You click not now, doesn't work. Click postpone. Still restarting. Search how cancel. Every option removed. Computer counts down, forces restart. You watch helpless, restarts, takes 40 minutes updating. Open your presentation. Last 2 hours work? Gone. Windows didn't save before forcing restart. You paid $800 for this computer, but doesn't obey you. Obeys Microsoft. That's Windows 11 crisis. Today we're breaking down how Windows became nightmare for users, why Microsoft keeps making it worse, and why company worth $4 trillion while product gets worse every year. Now let's get into it. The Windows 11 crisis. Quick note, this info comes from multiple sources. If something's wrong, drop a comment. We make economics so simple that anyone with zero knowledge can understand. Microsoft Windows operating system entire generations grew up with. One we learned typing on, one taught many what desktop even was. 2025 presence is still enormous. More than 1 billion devices run Windows, holds around 70% desktop market, Mac OS 13%, Chrome OS under 2%. But for years now, Windows fostered slow, steady drip annoyance from users. Programmer Rob Braxman had software demoed on stage by Bill Gates. States hasn't seen backlash this bad since transition. DOS 3.1 to Windows 1.0 back 1985. Quote, "I've never encountered so much resistance. Moving newer version, likely since DOS 3.1 to Windows, that was justifiable, but recent years with Advent. Windows 11, I have, say Microsoft, truly gone crazy." End quote. If experience getting worse so long, why Microsoft keep making decisions? Why Windows sucks so much today? To understand why Windows feels like money extracting husk, briefly need look how Microsoft came dominate, what end up doing when find themselves top dog. Back late 80s, 90s, Bill Gates built empire, getting MS-DOS onto many machines possible. Wild story, covered previously. Point was once, Windows everywhere. Microsoft could dictate rules, personal computing. Look no further, famous antitrust case deposition. Bill Gates forcing Internet Explorer onto everyone. Wayside things come. Satya Nadella company's current CEO, continuing same idea cornering market, then dictating rules. Less illegal way, capitalizing. Windows legacy reach push all users into Microsoft's online ecosystem. When Nadella took over 2014, Azure Office 365 enterprise licensing became core Microsoft. Can see effect clearly is company's valuation. Chart shows moment, Nadella steps in. Sharp rise, continuous rise. Shareholder champagne popping. Company steered towards cloud services, long-term recurring revenue. Remarkably successful strategy. Shareholders. Fiscal year 2025, Microsoft reported $252 billion revenue, over 55%. That about $138 billion came cloud services alone, when much business depends. B2B enterprise clients. Online, services incentives behind Windows naturally shift. Context explains why operating system feels way does. Corporate world grip. Microsoft, virtually absolute. Enterprise adoption. Windows 11 passed 60% since support Windows 10 ended. Microsoft controls roughly 40% server market. Why companies still use Windows? All these problems. Aside, company legacy systems, processes, software support Windows still king. Going back, Microsoft's shift cloud insanely profitable. When almost every corporation relies Windows, who cares home users? Do very little, bottom line. Microsoft? Frustration rarely affects revenue. Complaints don't threaten billion-dollar contracts. No wonder, over time, Windows began reflecting shareholder priorities rather than users. Like restaurant, caring more about landlord than customers. Customers complain, food bad, doesn't matter. Landlord happy. Let's get juicy stuff. Mind-boggling decisions Microsoft made. Windows slow, decline into trash. Don't think has always be this way. absolutely definitely think there's path redemption. Windows just don't think they're going don't think would take much work. Make not trash. Genuinely thing bothers most things. Actively make bad worse. If purchase windows don't want ads, any amount, don't put junk there all time, don't make search bad. Once, reach desktop, Windows keeps trying steering same direction online, pushing sign into account almost everything. Encourages store files. OneDrive, constantly reminding sign up. OneDrive all files, data, everything hosted. Microsoft Office, now subscription tied directly same account. During Windows 7 era, before would get Microsoft Office free, came with operating system. Didn't have sign in. Now, subscription service, Microsoft basically milking you every single dime. Even shutting down, computer no longer simple. Windows insists installing updates first. Sure boss, understand when Windows PC randomly shuts down middle important meeting just before deadline, work unsaved. Spend, if lucky, minutes booting back up while does forced updates. If really unlucky hours doing updates, try telling boss Microsoft's fault can't finish work. Windows 1100s, small issues users keep running into. List goes on. OS so bogged down, junk even user interface, measurably slower than previous version. Crazy thing, Microsoft admitted syncing OneDrive background, slowing down computers users. Worse yet come. Same time without fixing basics, company began pushing AI into every part services, including Windows itself. Invested more than $13 billion into OpenAI company behind ChatGPT, investment one largest bets Microsoft ever made single technology. As a side, investment lost, Microsoft $11.5 billion just last quarter. But with level investment, no surprise. AI became central Microsoft's plans. New AI features began spraying all over Word, Excel. Outlook Paint Copilot, some features useful. Lot felt simply added because company could. Microsoft warned Windows users not use Copilot Excel. Anything, quote, requires accuracy, end quote. Why? Hallucinates too much? Hologenic computer thing. Copilot doesn't work well as advertised yet. All these changes had common, kept people connected. Microsoft's online services, this where bigger picture becomes clearer, Windows Surface. Real product network services underneath, all point one direction, benefiting Microsoft's shareholders, not user. Clearly, see transition, Windows 10 to Windows 11. Microsoft officially ended support Windows 10, October 2025. Roughly 40% users still on it, 400 million people. Message clear, move Windows 11 or left behind. Problem many users couldn't even upgrade wanted. Computers still modern, powerful. Windows 11 refused install because new hardware requirement called TPM 2.0. What heck is that? TPM trusted platform, module chip stores, security keys. Microsoft framed necessary protection. Millions users felt like lock added without consent. Devices worked perfectly well day before, now suddenly considered outdated. More problems. TPM chip, TPM endorsement key, unique identifier your machine. Now, tied Microsoft ID identity. Can't change, can't delete. Device ID specifically known, pulled from TPM. Third parties can access. Now no restriction via API. Deliberate purpose, all madness. All tied AI, don't think random choice Microsoft, only start. Windows 11 setup process now requires Microsoft account internet connection, option to create local account removed, usual workarounds patched out. Have Microsoft email address, use Windows 11 PC, leaseway, Microsoft pushing, even workarounds get local account, working new Windows computer slowly being broken. People keep finding new ways Microsoft keeps breaking. Going get point can't even use PC local account. All push funnel users into cloud services extract money them. Authoritarian approach comes cost. When customers constantly thrown around, beaten overhead money extracting tactics. Don't like it. People once felt home Windows, now feel watch nudge controlled operating system. Instead, being user feel part product never agreed. Being, some cases completely lose control computer. Rob Braxman had Linux partition wiped without consent because Windows 11 didn't like him running two OS's computer. Quote, "I wasn't even using BitLocker, still signaled Windows takeover boot sequence. This not bug, this by design. Very devious," end quote. Privacy erosion, also big part shift. Windows always collected some information background. Over years, quiet data collection grew something people could no longer ignore. Microsoft calls telemetry, meant improved stability, investigations shown even lowest setting. Windows still gathers details apps. You use hardware system behavior. Information sent back Microsoft sometimes serve better ads their services. Other times, wide network analytics content providers, unless on Enterprise Edition, no real way switch off. When Microsoft announced Windows recall reaction made sense. Recall aimed record, everything ever done, PC. Capturing snapshots, screen feeding AI, search previous activity natural language, framed convenient tool. Many users felt confirmation. Windows crossing line. Security researchers found way recall, stored data not fully protected. Could accessed malware. Anyone local access. Their malware running computer now have treasure trove. Things picked from, don't just have recent email, have every screenshot computer ever taken. Banking details don't get scrubbed when Copilot Recall takes photo every few seconds. Know everything about you, can impersonate you. Microsoft says, shouldn't worry, all local, but thing, no technical barrier sending instruction AI companion examine recall database report findings. HQ, can done without data leaving computer. Backlash strong enough. Microsoft eventually pulled feature before launch, eventually returned opt-in tool encryption, this time stronger authentication, even improvements people still very unsure. At point, no longer about single feature, combined terrible user experience. Growing privacy concerns easy, see why people exploring alternatives. Users want transparency controls, choosing Linux. Those want simple, stable-going Mac OS. Don't get wrong, Windows still dominates consumer market. Slowly losing market share? Pavan Davuluri, president. Windows devices publicly acknowledged criticism, tweet listed, reliability performance issues, ease use issues, areas need attention. Reaction yet again wasn't kind. An end story less about Windows changing, more about Microsoft's priorities. Company found, model maximizes shareholder value, comes cost user experience. Real question, whether Microsoft willing putting users first. Even means earning little less. As Linux software compatibility improves, especially games, more users migrate things, keep going. Will be long time until Windows dethroned. Here's question. You pay $800 buying computer. Company forces updates middle your work. Shows ads paid operating system. Collects your data, can't turn off. Makes decisions without asking. Computers suppose serving you. Who's it really serving? Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any videos.